going to load up a scene that comes with Lightwave, a stock scene called the IK piston, but I'm going to use it as an example of your typical industrial animation. Now this is what we start with, just the piston going up and down. This is typical of the things that I might be asked to animate when I'm working on an industrial thing. The problem is mechanical devices, if they were easy to understand, they wouldn't need illustration. So you have to think of ways of showing this. Now one of the ways that I've developed is a way of illustrating this in a rather non-conventional way. Now say for instance, in this particular job, they want to show the armature on the inside of this tubular structure. Now if we render it out, it's a solid object and we can't see what's going on the inside there. So how can we fix that? Well, you can dissolve out part of the object or all of it under Render, Object Dissolve 75. Let's try that. Switch this to off so it goes quicker. And it kind of shows what's going on. Actually, it does a fairly good job. I have found that sometimes using transparency, which is one of the basic attributes, works better than dissolve, but it's pretty much a per job thing. And the other thing that I have found is to apply something you wouldn't expect, and that is cell look edges. Now, edges are fun. I'm going to click on edges right here. Cell look edges originally intended to be like a cartoony edge, but I have found it works really well in illustrating certain concepts. So I'm going to just choose silhouette edges. The big thing is I'm going to change the edge color to something a little bit brighter. Have this down. I'm going to render this. And I think it's time to turn anti-aliasing back on. I can see this is part of the same surface. I'm going to select that object and also put on cell look edges. I'll make it thinner, and I'm going to make it blue, and maybe also sharp creases. Make that one thin and this one thick. And a quick rendering will show I'm seeing part of the original subject, but I'm also seeing this outline. Let's make it full size so it's easier to see. In fact, I think I will be moving my camera to get a better angle on it. And we want piston also to be partially transparent, or even mostly. There we go. Now, like I said, this is very typical of an industrial type project where I want to highlight a certain part. And if you're working with like a lawnmower or anything that has a million little parts, you'll find that they're often concentrating on some little part off in the corner, some little piece of drainage or nut and bolt or ligature or something. And I found by using cell look edges, I can get a really nice look that really helps define. I'm just going to dress this up a little bit more with the piston, because even though it's basic industrial kind of thing, they always want it to look cool. So I'm going to add some reflection in here, because reflection overwrites transparency. Use a spherical map, load up a reflection image. Take that down a little bit and let's render that. So you can see right away that reflection image is giving me a little bit more definition to the curve. The cell look outlines definitely are. It looks like we could add in another layer of edging to this, but it's definitely delineating it really well. I'm not changing anything, and also, if I'm working in production, I might do one cycle of it going around, just render that, and then render a cycle of it. I'll render one cycle with it solid without any edges, and then render another cycle of it transparent with the edges, and then in post, using my video toaster or Media 100 or whatever I have, I would then do a crossfade between the two, and trust me, they'll be really impressed. If I throw a lens flare in there, I might actually get a day off. So now we have our thinner edges here, thicker edges there, and we have a very nice looking industrial graphic, even something as simple as a cylinder and a couple of sticks.